Hello and welcome everyone to our lesson today. I hope everyone is doing very well. Today we're gonna study literature. So please open your students' books, page 74. Literature Corner 4. The Dead of Jericho by Colin Dexter. What do you know about Colin Dexter? Colin Dexter is an English crime writer who was born in 1930. His 13 novels, which are notable for their complicated plots and unexpected twists, all feature the famous fictional police detective Inspector Morse. The stories take place in and around the university city of Oxford. The Dead of Jericho is the fifth book in the series and is set in an older part of Oxford near the railway station and the canal. Now let's go for task 1. We have here the novel. Then task 1. Read the text. Are the sentences true or false? So please, we have to read here the 5 sentences. Then you will listen during reading the novel and decide which sentence is true and which one is false. Let's read them together. Number 1. Someone called Anne Scott has died. Number 2. Bill and Walters are police officers. 3. Morse doesn't know about the dead body. 4. Bill wants Morse to investigate the case. 5. Bill tells Walters that he thinks this is a murder case. Now, let's start. Listen while reading. Okay?
4. Page 74. Exercise 1. Read and listen to the text.
The Dead of Jericho by Colin Dexter. Inside 9 Canal Reach, Constable Walters entered the kitchen. "Inspector Morse was here a few minutes ago, sir," he said to Inspector Bell, a tall, black-haired man. "What on earth did he want?" asked Bell crossly. "He just asked a few questions, sir. Do you know him well?" "I suppose so. We've worked together once or twice. He's a strange man, very strange." "People say he's clever." "Yes, that's right." Bell was an honest man. "Cleverest detective I've ever met. Cleverer than most of us, anyway." "He never married, did he?" "Too lazy for that. Like spending his free time in cafes or listening to Mozart," Bell laughed. Then he stopped and looked sharply at Walters. "Now perhaps you'd like to tell me exactly what questions he asked." As Walters repeated Morse's questions, Bell listened carefully. Of course, it was strange that the front door wasn't locked, and he still didn't know who had rung the police. But he had only just started investigating the case. He would know more details soon. Anyway, details were not really necessary, because it was a simple case of suicide. She had hanged herself by attaching a rope to the ceiling, standing on a chair and kicking it away. As an experienced police officer, he had seen many suicides like this. Perhaps when his men searched the house, they would find a note explaining why she had killed herself. There was only one thing that worried Bell, and he hadn't told the police doctor or Walters or any of his men about it. How does a woman, at that terrible fatal moment, kick the chair away so that it lands almost 2 meters away from her? But it didn't really matter, he told himself. He was sure it was suicide. Bell did not find the suicide note he was looking for, but there was at least one note which Anne Scott had written the night before she died, a note which was delivered and received. Constable Walters and Inspector Bell searched the 2 small bedrooms of 9 Canal Reach, looking for clues. They found large piles of letters in the drawers of a desk. Anne had obviously tried to arrange them in some kind of order. They spent some time looking through the letters, But in the end, Belle only seemed interested in 3 things: a recent letter from Anne's mother, an address book, and a desk diary.
Have you finished? Let's check your work. Number 1, true. Number 2, true. 3, false. 4, false. And 5, false. Okay, I hope you answered all of them correctly. Now please, let's go for the next task. Exercise 2. Read the text again and answer the questions. We have here 6 questions, so please read them carefully and underline the answers in the text. You have enough time? Go ahead. Have you finished? Let's check your work. Number 1. Where are Bill and Walters talking? They are talking in the kitchen. Number 2. What does Bill say about Morse? Bill said that Morse is the cleverest detective he's ever met. 3. What was unusual about the front door? It was strange that it wasn't locked. 4. Number 4. How did the woman commit suicide? She hanged herself. Number 5. What is Bill looking for and why? Bill is looking for a suicide note explaining why she had killed herself. Number 6. Why is Bill interested in Anne's address book? Because he's looking for clues. I hope all your answers are correct. Now let's go for the next task. Exercise 3. Exercise 3, we have here some questions. I want you to answer them in your notebooks, so it will be your homework. Okay? Now let's go for skills roundup. Tourism and travel. Reading. Task 1. Read the text quickly. Do most British people travel abroad or stay in Britain for their holidays? So please read the text and answer this question. Go ahead. Done? Yes, most travel abroad for their holidays. Correct. Now let's go for exercise 2. Read the text again. Are the sentences true or false? Actually, we have here 8 sentences. I want you to read them carefully and decide which one is true and which one is false. Read again. Go ahead. Have you finished? Okay, let's check your work. Number 1. In the 19th century, new railways made it possible for working people to go to the coast. True. Number 2. In the 19th century, people used to have long holidays at the seaside. False. 3. Traditionally, water sports were the most popular holiday activity. False. Number 4. As package holidays abroad became more popular, seaside holidays in Britain became less popular. True. Number 5. A lot of British people bought cars between 1960 and 1979. True. Number 6. In the 1990s, short flights were cheap, but long flights were still very expensive. False. Number 7. Short holidays in distant places have become less popular. False. Number 8. Fewer people are flying because of the impact on the environment. True. Now please, let's go for the next task. Now we have listening. You can answer task 3 yourselves, okay, and send me the answers to check. Now listening. Task 1. Listen to people talking about holidays. Which countries do they mention? And task 2. Listen again. You will listen only once. In fact, okay? Match the sentences with the people Tony, Karen, Dan and Jill, and Chris. Now please read the sentences before listening. Ready? Now listen.
7 to 8. Page 75. Listen. Exercises 1 and 2. Listen to people talking about holidays. Tony.
We live in London, but we have family in Devon, which is in the southwest of England. Devon is really beautiful, with lots of lovely countryside and beaches. My aunt and uncle have lived in an old farmhouse there for over 10 years now, and every summer we go and stay with them for a few weeks. Being in London in summer is not very pleasant, so my sister and I really look forward to going there. There are lots of things to do, and we get on really well with our cousins. We cycle to the beach or go for walks, and sometimes we go out in my uncle's boat. There's a surfing beach nearby, so we've been practicing our surfing. I'm not very good, but it's great fun. I wouldn't like to live there in winter, though. It's too boring then.
Karen. My mum used to live in Portugal, so we often go back there for our holidays, just the two of us. We never stay in the same place. We always hire a car and drive to different places. We visit Lisbon, the capital city, for example, or visit my mum's friends on the west coast. Now and then we cross over the border and go to the south of Spain. Once we went to Gibraltar, that tiny part of Spain which is still British. That was interesting, though I wouldn't like to live there. Portugal is lovely, though, and the people are very friendly and kind. My mum speaks Portuguese fluently, of course, and I can speak a bit too, though it's not an easy language to pronounce. And it's always warm and sunny there. Such a nice place for a holiday. Dan and Jill.
We both have quite busy jobs, so holidays are important to us. We like to get away from it all and do something completely different. We save some of our money every month and put it away for our next holiday. We've recently found something we love doing, skiing. We tried it for the first time 2 years ago and thought it was wonderful.
Yes, I didn't think I would enjoy it that much as I don't like the cold. But on a beautiful white mountain with a blue sunny sky, it doesn't feel cold at all. Skiing's expensive though, so we try to arrange something at the last minute so we can get the holiday cheaper. So far we've been to Austria. This year I think we're going to Switzerland. We can't wait. Chris.
I'm 17 now, and I used to go on holiday with my parents and little sisters, but I never enjoyed it very much. Wherever we went, either in Britain or sometimes France or Italy, my dad wanted to look at all the churches and historical buildings. The occasional old place can be interesting, I suppose, but I used to get so bored. My mum took my little sisters to a cafe for yet another ice cream, and there I was stuck between old churches and pink ice creams. So last year, I decided to do something different. Now when my family goes on holiday, I go somewhere on my own in Britain. So far I've been canoeing and kayaking, mountain climbing and camping, and it's been just great. There are lots of people my age, and we all learn something new and get to know each other at the same time. I've done so many new things and met so many people. I wish I had thought of it sooner.
Have you finished? Let's check your work. Here are the countries, and here number 1, Dan and Joel, 2, Tony, 3, Chris, and 4, Karen. Thanks a lot. See you.